Exercise 2, Modeling a Mug. In this exercise, we will again start with the T-Splines primitive to model a mug. We'll introduce one new command, the Extrude command. In this exercise, we are not starting with a reference image. We are going to treat T-Splines like digital clay to create and explore a shape. We'll make a mug. We'll start again with the box primitive. Since the mug should be round, we don't need much detail in the X and Y directions, and we'll make one face on each of these. In the Z direction, we'll make 5 faces, and we will not use any symmetry. With the remote control model, our primitive got us about 70% of the way there. It was roughly the same final shape as our design. We're not that far along with this mug. In this case, we need to make fairly substantial changes to our model to make the mug hollow and add a handle. We need to make large changes to the shape of the model. The Extrude command is a powerful basic tool. We'll start by using the Extrude command to make the mug hollow. You can extrude faces, edges, and curves. We'll be extruding faces here. Just select the faces to extrude and run the Extrude command by clicking the icon or selecting from the drop-down menu. In exercise 1, we talked about the importance of the topology of your model when working with T-Splines. Again, the topology is the layout of the faces, edges, and vertices. We need to have a ring of faces to represent the thickness of the mug. So after we extrude, we are going to scale the new face inwards. This has the effect of making the outer ring of faces fatter. Next, we'll extrude the center face again. This time, we will move it downwards. You can see that the farther we pull it, the more it looks stretched out. So we'll just pull it a bit and then run the Extrude command again. By doing this a couple of times, it helps the surface not seem stretched out and pointy. Looking back at the top of the mug, here we have a ring of faces that gives the mug the right thickness. This was because we made the original extrusion and scaled it in before making extrusions and pulling it inwards. To change the shape of our model at this point, we can move around the edges and faces and control points of the model. Remember, to make tighter transitions, we can move control points or edges closer to one another. Next, we'll extrude faces to make the handle of the mug. To do this, we will introduce a new way to extrude. Just hold down the Alt key and drag the manipulator. It will add an extrusion. As we're extruding the handle, we'll take care after each extrusion to tweak and shape the surface. This will involve some translating and scaling of the control points. Then we'll do another extrusion and move the control points again. We will do one more extrusion. This gives us our handle. Now we can tweak the surface and get the final proportions. Two important notes. 1. Undoing an extrusion. When you extrude, by holding down the Alt key and dragging the manipulator, you may decide you want to undo what you just did. You can do that with the undo command. However, one important thing to keep in mind is that you are undoing two operations, the movement and the extrusion. A very common beginner mistake is to only undo once. If you repeat that process, extruding and undoing, and don't undo twice each time, soon you'll end up with a bunch of control points stacked on top of each other, which is problematic. The second important point, T-Splines as a unified surface. You'll notice that when you make an extrusion, the surface immediately next to the extrusion is slightly changed. And what you do with the extruded part will influence the original surface. This is by design and is one of the powerful parts of T-Splines, allowing your model to be one smooth, continuous model.